Three, two, one. Welcome to Broadcast to Badass by Best Life Ever with your hosts, Kimi and Pua. If you're ready to stop struggling, stop hustling, and start living your best life ever, you are in the right place. Hey, this is a special episode. It's our 100th episode. I wish I had sound effects that I could put in. Maybe I'll add them in.
As if we record for a live audience of millions.
Yes, we do.
Like Friends. Recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the show, our 100th episode party. And real quick, before we dive into our 100th episode, we just want to give you a real quick reminder. Wherever you are listening to this, click the subscribe button. Just tap subscribe so that you never miss another one of our next 100 episodes.
Because it's coming.
They are.
100
yes.
more.
We were going to do this elaborate April Fool's joke and be like, this is the end of our show. And then we just didn't have the heart to do it. It was like too sad. Like, no, we can't.
Like, that's not even funny.
I know. April Fool's jokes are just not that funny.
Wait, they're really not funny. And I hate being tricked. So if any of you out there are listening and you're outside my house planning on tricking me, like, don't do it. Turn around, go home, because I'll punch you in the face. I hate being tricked.
Yeah, it's not really that fun or funny,
No,
except for maybe for the person.
For the person doing it.
Yeah, and then this is the one that's like on Easter too. So you see all the memes with the chocolate eggs, and it's actually a grape inside the foil, and it's just like, why make your kids sad like that? That's not okay.
Yeah, it's not always on Easter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, I can see a lot of like really creepy Easter bunny. Ew, guys, don't do it.
Don't do it.
We know that you listen to this first thing when you wake up because that's what you do every Sunday morning. We know. Don't do it.
Yes, whatever elaborate April Fool's pranks you had planned, maybe rethink them or maybe just run them by somebody else and ask them if it's funny because sometimes we're too close to it and we don't know.
Unless it'll get you on Ellen.
Yes, then it's always
Then
worth it.
Her pranks, I have to say, I spend too long going through YouTube watching her prank people, and that's really hilarious. But it's Ellen, and Ellen can do whatever she wants.
Right. Ellen, you can prank us. We welcome it. Yeah. So today, as we mentioned, is our 100th episode. Oh my goodness. Isn't that crazy? 100. That's a lot of talking.
A lot of us. If you listened to this long, thank you for loving us enough to listen to us talk for 100 episodes.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it really means so much to us. And we thought today would be fun to just kind of, have a little party and reflect on what the past 100 episodes have meant for us and for our tribe. So,
Yep.
Well, I think that one of the things that as we've been preparing for this episode, the thing that we've been thinking a lot about is how this is the 100 episodes. I have a frog in my throat and I can't get it out. Hold on.
You should eat it.
Okay.
Get it?
So we were reflecting on how this podcast has become this like living journal of our journey, right?
Yeah, it is. And it's, if you listen to our podcast from start to finish, as it is right now, and if you really want to, you can go to Find Hot Better Pop and listen to that from start to finish first. It shows the evolution of what we went through over the last, 3 years since we've been podcasting. And like, I am not a regular journaler. I have things that I kind of jot things down in here and there, but this really is like my only sort of tracker for the journey that we've been on. So it's really special. Like, we talk a lot about legacy, especially in our course, and what you want to be remembered by and what you want your kids to remember you for, and how you want people to see you in the world. And to do something like a podcast or even a blog or something that exists and potentially could exist forever out there. It's really cool. It's like the modern day carving something in stone.
Right? I know it actually brings tears to my eyes when I think about the fact that my kids will always have these episodes to listen to my voice, listen to what I believed in at the time, and just listen to who we were and what our journey was. And our story is in this too. And it's really, really powerful and so cool. What I also love about the journey that we've been in that I also think is hilarious is, to me, it's been like the journey to more and more authenticity, and like we've become more and more ourselves since the Hot Bitter Pop days, but also since the start of this podcast. Not that we haven't been ourselves, but I always feel like the journey of an entrepreneur, especially, is about becoming more and more yourself and becoming more and more comfortable with putting yourself out in the world, kind of in a more raw and vulnerable and authentic way. Because when you start out as a rookie entrepreneur, as we did, it's this idea that you have to put out this perfectly polished image of yourself. And whether it's like PTSD from us being in the corporate world where professionalism is like what it's all about, I think that at least for me, I know that when we started out, I had so much anxiety about like having everything be perfect and having everything be very polished. And that always comes at an expense, right? So the more polished that you are, sometimes the less authentic you feel, which is kind of weird. But our journey has been about more and more becoming ourselves, and sharing that with the world with more authenticity and vulnerability. And that can be reflected by the number of E's that are next to our little episodes, right? Saying, so since we rebranded and niched down, you've seen more and more explicit little symbols next to our episodes, because we have started talking more and more just like ourselves, and it feels fucking awesome.
There it is. Yeah, I actually only intended to think back as far as Best Life Ever, but in preparing for this, I was quite often going all the way back to Hot Better Pop. And if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, I mean, it's, we don't necessarily really want you to go back and listen to that because it was a hot mess. But it was also like the first year of our journey. And like, I remember being in tears the first time we decided to try and record a podcast, because I was like, I can't do this. I hate this. I'm not good at it. I hate the sound of my voice. I can't believe this is something that we're doing. And then, I don't know, 5 episodes in, I was like, this is so fun. Why are we doing weekly? We need to do daily. And so there's all of those little milestones that we forget about. Like, I don't even remember it, unless I try to think about it, how uncomfortable I was, even just recording an audio podcast. And then we tried to do video, and we tried to do YouTube. Oh my God, guys, go to our YouTube channel. And
don't.
Don't actually. I kind of got lost in that the other day. I was watching our old promo videos that we used to do from Eden and Love. So we looked great. We got hair and makeup done. We had professional styling, but oh my God, the stuff we said, I was just like, this is not real. But it's it's hilarious and it's embarrassing, but it's out there in the world, and it's such, again, like a really great way to measure progress and to just see like what did we used to think was important?
Yes.
And how has that shifted? And it's so cool also because when Kimi and I plan now, it's very different from when we used to plan things in the past. And I think this is also a very natural part of people's journey as business owners, but it starts out as like, what do other people want? What do other people need? How are other people going to see us? How can we portray ourselves so that other people will like us? How do let's care more about what other people think. And then as you go through it, you're like, no, that's the best way to disappoint the whole world, including yourself, because you're inauthentic. And then when people find out who you really are, it's not what they signed up for, and they get mad. So as Kimi said, like, we have learned over the last few years that things are easier more, they're elfy, they're easier, they're more lucrative, and they're more fun when you are yourself, and your clients can be attracted to that vibration that is truly who you are.
Amen. I was just working on some social media posts for us, and I just created one that said, if you try to be anyone other than yourself, the world will kick your ass back to authenticity. And I think it's so funny because there have been definitely times on our journey where, and this is just part of it. Like there's no judgment here. We all go through this where there is a part of us, our ego or whatever it is, that is, as you said, Pua, so perfectly concerned about what other people will think. And we start prioritizing that over being ourselves, right? And so, but the world and the universe and our soul is set up such that when we do that, things will happen that will kick our ass so that we can become more ourselves again. And that's sort of the journey of humans and as entrepreneurs. And so the world will reflect back. And when you are kind of showing up in the world and something just feels off, like not quite yourself, whatever it is, there will be evidence that you're out of alignment and being inauthentic in some way. And so it can feel like an ass kicking sometimes. You're like, God, why isn't this working out? Why is this frustrating? Why is this not landing? Why are people not hearing me? Whatever it is. And why is this uncomfortable, And then boom, you're like, oh, right. Cause I can show up more authentically in this moment. And whenever we return to that is when things begin to flow again in our lives. So it's a work in progress constantly. But, I like that imagery of like the world being sort of like this really loving, older sibling or something that like kicks your ass and says like, come on, be yourself.
It's not always clear either, which is the thing that I think when we listen to podcasts or read books and they say, be in alignment or things won't work or be yourself. Like it's not really always that clear what being yourself really looks like, especially when you've been working to build something that you envision in your head. And then later you realize that that's not actually the direction you want to go. So what I mean is, just speaking from our experience, we started out doing kind of more life coaching, personal development work. And even before that, we were doing a lot of health coaching, like a lot of health and fitness. And our old podcast was very focused on, nutrition and, ways to feel better. And then we moved into kind of productivity stuff for corporations where we thought, this is awesome. This is the best thing ever because we're teaching people that it's not about time management. It's about energy management. We thought we were brilliant. And at the time, it felt good and it felt right. Looking back, we're happier now working with entrepreneurs, but we didn't know that then. And it was a part of the journey that was very necessary for us to know how we can niche down to be more ourselves. But we couldn't have gotten to where we are right now without those experiences. So while you're listening to this and other kind of developmental advice, just know that you may not be doing anything quote unquote wrong, and to just go with it and learn to be open to reinvention when inspiration hits. And it doesn't mean that you have to change what you're doing right now.
That is such a great point. And, it's one of the reasons why I feel like you're just like the number one star in my gratitude journal, like every day, because without having you as a business partner, I think I would push through a lot longer in sticky things. But because we have each other, it's like we're constantly talking about if something doesn't feel quite right to us. And, we're constantly like massaging our business model and reinventing as we need to. And it is so, so helpful to just, have a partner who is, right there with you to really work through that stuff and to reflect back, right? Cause sometimes when we're on our own, I know for sure, we just we're just kind of like, not really thinking about it or reflecting on it as much. So it's one of the biggest benefits of having a business partner or a mastermind or people around you that are on that same mission that you can constantly be having this conversation with. Because as Pua said, like we shift, we change, things are always evolving. So what checks do you have in place? What people do you have in place to reflect to you if you are living in alignment with your truth, with what you value, with your authenticity? So thank you.
Thank you. It's funny. We were just talking about this the other day. Someone sent us a question and we were like, gosh, just do it. Just go for it. And then we realized like, it's a lot easier for us to say that because we have each other to ask. And we always just want you all to know that many of you are on this journey, technically as the solopreneur of your business, although there's always support all around you. And we definitely invite you and encourage you to send us your questions because we love being that person for someone else. Mm-hmm. And I take it for granted sometimes if I'm not conscious of it that I have you to ask questions to all day long. Like I hate talking on the phone, guys, but I will call Kimi like 5 times a day. And it just feels weird when we have days where we don't speak to each other because it's just, I don't know, it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's so true. I love you. Yeah. And it was just this big like awareness that we had just kind of recently, right? Where somebody had asked us about something and where we were like, yeah, oh, how about this or that? And we do that to each other all the time. And we're so glad that like the badasses in our program feel comfortable reaching out to us to like run their logo by us or run an idea by us or get a second opinion on something. And because we do that all day long with each other, we're slacking constantly back and forth. And it is like having a second brain and a second heart. And that has been such a powerful, important, just amazing part of this journey for me is, gosh, just being partners in badassery. It's like, it's a trip and I never want to take it for granted. And I love that you said like, it's something that, I sometimes definitely lose, like it leaves my consciousness, and then I'm like, oh God, my God, like my best hack ever is Pua. It really is. And I love the way you said that we want to be that for other people. And that's a huge part of our mission now. And I would say arguably the most rewarding part of what we do is being able to be the Kimi and the Pua for other people.
Totally. And it really aligns with our new business model to serve entrepreneurs. And I feel like in this place that we're at now, we're no longer, we are building our business and our brand in terms of, exposure and expansion. But I feel like today our mission is to help other entrepreneurs grow and expand and really just kind of be the catalyst for them rather than now like narrowing down our message, narrowing down our like niching down, like we're down. We got it. We're good. We have our program. We have our podcast. We have our Facebook tribe. Like we have our channels to serve. So thank God all of that is built. And now we can just like dig our fingers into the dirt and really help to plant your seeds. And that, I love that. Me is like, that is next level stuff right there. And I'm so excited. That
is so what these 100 episodes, like the time that has passed during these 100 episodes, that has been the journey. It's like from figuring out like who we are, what we want, figuring out our branding, figuring out niching down, all that stuff, all of our work that we've done in order to now be able to, as you said, dig in the dirt to help grow other people's dreams and visions now. And you're right. That is so powerful. It's so cool to be at this space and just be like, let's just do this. Let's work together to grow your dreams, guys. That is why we are here.
Totally. I hope it's an okay time. I think this is a great segue to giving a couple of shout outs to podcast listeners who have actually been doing all the things and building beautiful businesses and I'm just like really excited for this one, and she has no idea that we know this. Kayla girl, we know. And you're a badass. You are like, okay, so I know Lauren and Luke and Kool-Aid told you to let us know via an iTunes review, which would be really great also, but they kind of spilt the beans. And we want all of you guys out there to know that one of our listeners has created a side hustle that will hopefully turn into a full-time business because she listens to our podcast. And I would love to learn more about what you do, and we'd love to feature you and your awesome business ideas in the future here on the podcast. But congratulations, and frickin' you rock for just doing it and taking the action. And it takes balls to actually turn your dream and your vision and something that you've been wanting to do into something that you're doing. So rock on, girlfriend.
Woohoo! That is something to celebrate. Oh my goodness. And we, to all of you listening that have taken inspired action because of one of these episodes, because of one of the interviews that you've heard and something that just hit you or struck you in that moment, that means the world to us. And thank you to all of you that have shared with us and sent us messages. But as with Kayla, we know that there are so many of you out there that we may never hear from, and that, are sort of listening and taking action. And, that's awesome too. We want to celebrate you, and we're high-fiving all of you.
Boom.
So as we are here at our 100th episode, we wanted to kind of wrap things up by sharing with you a little bit about our vision for the next 100 episodes and beyond, and really get your involvement in that as well. And if you're listening to this, we would love, love, love to hear from you. We would love to hear, what episodes did you love? What interviews did you love? What would you like to hear more of? And I guess what would you like to hear less of? Maybe like less of my cat meowing in the background. But yeah, and probably the best way to do that would be to join us in the tribe if you're not there already, bit.ly/BLE tribe. That's another thing that grew from this podcast is our Facebook community. And it's such a fun place. So many amazing people there, so much engagement. And this group just lights up our soul. So if you're not there, jump in for sure. And that's a great place to just share with us what you'd like to hear on the podcast, what you'd like to, who you'd like us to interview if you have any suggestions for that. So we're always open to it. And even if you want to hop on the phone and chat about this for, a few minutes, we would love to do that too. So reach out to us. You can either join us on Facebook or you could email us at aloha@bestlifeever.buzz. We would love to hear from you.
I know what you're doing right now. You're driving, or you're cleaning your house, Gretel, or you're on a walk or a run and you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I'll do that when I get home. And you've said it before and you never did it. So what I want you to do right now is pull over, or stop running, or turn the vacuum off and go right now into your Facebook app, open it up, search for the Best Life Ever Tribe, and ask to join. And then say hi. Because we really like talking to you. It's like kind of weird and creepy, but we love it.
We love it. We sure do.
I'm just kidding. We're not weird and creepy.
Or maybe we are. And if you're listening to it this far, by now you know that, and you're just like you're our vibe and our tribe. So it's all good.
You're also weird and creepy. That's joking. Yeah, I think this is a really exciting place for us to be too. It's 100 episodes in the podcast, which I think is there's a lot of synchronicity there, and with where we are with our brand and our business. And something else that we're so pumped to launch today is, we're launching two things. And one is really just an announcement that we just are over the moon about, and we're finally pulling the trigger and selecting a new charity every month to donate 5% of our revenue to. And we're super stoked to announce our very first charity of the month is Aloha Harvest, and that's a local company here in Hawaii. Their mission is to rescue food and deliver it to social service agencies and people in need throughout the state of Hawaii. They are an amazing organization, and we're just really pumped to support them. And we have a few charities in the queue for the next few months, but if you guys have any charities or great causes that you feel really strongly about, definitely also let us know what those organizations are. Let us know a little bit about them and why they're so awesome. And we would love to consider them in the future.
Yes, yes, yes. And the second thing that we are announcing today on April 1st is our Badassador program. I could say Badassador like 100 times. I love it so much. So our Badassador program is our amazing affiliate program for our Broadcast to Badass course. So you can find out all about that actually at broadcasttobadass.com. But our Badassador program is all about, it's about our mission, really, to help fill the world with people that are living their purpose and sharing their gifts with the world. Because we just think that is the best thing ever, and that is exactly what is going to heal this planet. And so if you are an entrepreneur enthusiast, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're an inspiring entrepreneur, if you also believe that a world full of people living their purpose and sharing their gifts with others is going to be the thing that heals our planet, if you love the idea of the circulation of abundance, as Derek Rydell talked about in his amazing episode, be sure to catch that one if you haven't yet. If all of that excites you, definitely. Oh, and by the way, if you're a little bit competitive too, this will also light you up. So if you feel aligned with all those things, our Badassador program is perfect for you. And what we've really done is just created a way for people to share about our 8-week course in a way that is super easy, super fun, and potentially lucrative.
Yeah, our favorite part about this is this is an opportunity that is available to anybody. And as we've narrowed down our focus, we've really just started to create support for entrepreneurs. And while that lights us up, we realize that there are a lot of our supporters and listeners out there who may never want to have their own business, but want to support others on that journey. And this is a beautiful way to do that. And so, anybody can join this program. And we decided to open it up publicly, because the more people out there talking about Best Life Ever and about Broadcast to Badass, the more people we potentially get to serve. But also, you will be able to also experience some of the awesome perks of this program. We have a points and rewards system that, some of our rewards are freaking badass. Like, we're getting shirts made. We're going to get hoodies. You can get a $500 Amazon gift card. You can get a 1-year membership to Happiness U. We have a monthly Badassador newsletter you can be featured in. There's lots of awesome prizes. And it's also potentially a way to make some really great residual income. And we're going to be flat out transparent and honest. Our course is a big investment. It is, and we are totally proud of that. And we love the energetic exchange that comes from having a course that is a big investment, because you're in it. You pay and you come and you are all in. And that is the beautiful thing. And if you guys have a course out there, we recommend, if you feel uncomfortable with raising your price, come talk to us, because it's really one of the best things we've done. So anyway, knowing that, and knowing that you will get a percentage of any enrollment that is a referral from you that we decide to invite into the program, the payouts are pretty big. And so there's a lot of potential to either, if you want to do B2B and the investment is a little bit uncomfortable for you, you can actually make some money to pay for B2B, or you can just make some money to freaking go out there and do more fun shit. It's up to you. But we really wanted to make this a win-win and empower all of you to share and to create the best world ever, really, through empowering people to do what they love.
Oh my God, I love that so much. I'm like, I'm in. Wow. Yeah, love it. And, some people have been asking us, what do we have to do to become a Badassador? Does it cost anything? No, it is absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up. That's it. Sign up and share. It's so simple. And again, we're so, so proud of it. So super fun.
So fun.
And if you'd like to find out more about any of this, you can email us at aloha@bestlifeever.buzz. You can visit our website. You can join us in the tribe. You can go to broadcasttobadass.com to find out about that program. But we are really, we're just a click away, guys. This world is so beautifully small in this day and age. And we want to really leave you with that reminder. There have been so many times on our journey as entrepreneurs that we have taken a brave moment and just said, F it, let's just reach out to this person or that person. Maybe it's somebody we heard on a podcast. Maybe it's somebody that we saw online doing cool things. Maybe it's some mentor or somebody that we were hoping would be a mentor. And we just took that chance and emailed them or reached out or sent them a message. And those are the moments that catapulted our life and our business forward. So listen to your soul. If something is calling you to reach out, do it. Don't delay. As Pua said, pull over, pull over and write yourself a note, because we are right here and we would love, love, love to get to know you, to hear about your big dreams, and to support you in any way that we can. And also be sure to subscribe to our podcast so that you don't miss any of our next 100 episodes.
Can I share something that's funny and vulnerable, and maybe you wouldn't want me to share it, but I'm going to do it anyway?
Yes, perfect. That's what we're all about here.
Right. Yesterday we were talking about how people who listen to our podcast, there's like, it's an uneven playing field because they know us so deeply already. It's like they know who we are. They know what we're about. They know like what our voices sound like, where we live, and we know nothing about all of you.
Yes.
So selfishly, we also just want to even the playing field. And so, reach out to us, come find us on Facebook, book a call with us just so that we feel a little bit better about this whole situation.
It feels a little one-sided, guys. You know us and we don't know you yet. We know some of you. Jump in the tribe so we can get to know you better. And we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This has been an amazing 100-episode journey for us. And we're so, so deeply grateful that you are a part of it. We want to send a big thank you to all of our amazing guests, the teachers that we've had along this journey, to each and every listener. Thank you so much. We love you guys and we look forward to more.
Love you guys. See you soon.